One of the earliest institutions for the Pokemon fandom, the Poké-Rap is widely considered a stone-cold classic. Yet for as many people know it, or pretend to, there's a lot of history surrounding it I've never seen anyone talk about. So today, we're going into the nitty-gritty of the Poké-Rap, every single one of them, plus Poké-Rap equivalents from Japan and other similar tunes. But of course, there's no better place to start than with the original. For its origins, we're kicking off with a 2015 article on theweek.com where they interviewed two of the guys involved, James D. Train Williams, the non-Poké-Rap singer, and John Siegler, the Poké-Rap's head writer. Siegler said the idea came from Pokemon's producers who wanted a song that named all 150 monsters. They also wanted each episode of Season 1 wrapped up with a 1-minute end piece, so for syndication, the rap was divided into 5 chunks and aired Monday through Friday, with roughly 30 monsters per day. Siegler, alongside fellow Pokemon songwriter John Leffler, wrote the rap's opening melody, while Siegler wrote the rest. To dole out these fresh beats, they hired Babby Floyd, a frequent collaborator of Siegler's who's also worked with the likes of Harry Belafonte, Billy Joel, and Jimmy Cliff, the latter of which Space Ghost fans are very familiar with. Floyd also worked on a few Sesame Street tunes in the mid-90s to early 2000s, plus some voice acting for New York-based projects like GTA and Courage the Cowardly Dog. And if you watched Between the Lions like I did, he sang the Silent E song. That's one of my favorites, and I never made the connection as a kid. But that's so cool!
It's the ultimate test! I'll get you yet!
He sadly passed away in 2013, but his music pals remembered him fondly, with Siegler saying he was versatile, wacky, and unbelievable. Darn right. Williams is no slouch either. Among his body of work, he did a song called Misunderstanding, which has a sample that apparently had the internet in stitches at one point. He and Floyd also reportedly did the Poké-Rap live a few times. Siegler recalled a street fair on Manhattan's 10th Street and he had just missed them, which, for his Pokemon-crazed kid at the time, was absolutely devastating. Before the rap's TV debut, some fans got a preview of it via the Sneak Peek at Pokemon VHS. An early version of Tuesday's rap is here, where Floyd pronounces Rapidash as Rapidos. Honestly, it was worth a re-record just for how he said Snorlax in the final mix.
Geodude, Rapidos, Magneton, Snorlax! Geodude, Rapidash, Magneton, Snorlax!
Said mix has its own set of flubs in the visual department. Poliwag's picture being used for Poliwrath is a classic, but did you know this wasn't always a thing? Checking a recording off broadcast channel UPN, Monday's rap used Poliwrath proper, and this was apparently taken from the show's premiere in September '98. The other big errors are the Lickitung misspelling and Geodude's pick used for Graveler, with neither present in the TV runs I found. I'm not sure what happened between then and Pokemon's first home video release a few months later where these flubs appeared, nor why they're still in use to this day. But fun fact, the TV and home video versions vary slightly with their in-between B-roll, and the latter is always the full song unlike the former. I'm gonna guess they were done by different teams and someone missed some kind of memo. On home video, the rap's on the first 7 volume releases, plus the Indigo League DVDs from '06 onward. It's also on the UK Kanto tapes, where Babby Floyd was redubbed with a UK-based singer.
We're at the halfway point, doing great so far.
Wait, what's this we stuff? I'm doing all the hard work!
The pronunciations here are much more accurate, save for the rappers saying Nidorino when they show Nidorina.
Articuno Jix, Nidorino Beedrill, Hunter, Squirtle, Chansey.
Back in the States, when Pokemon moved from syndication to Kids WB in early '99, the rap got some minor tweaks. Here, the singers don't close us out, rather one of Kids WB's announcers.
Tune in tomorrow as Ash, Misty, and Brock continue their quest to become Pokemon Masters, here on Kids WB.
Some bits of the preamble are also missing, or in the case of Wednesday and Thursday's rap, all of it. Up in Canada, where Pokemon also aired on YTV, we aired the syndicated package into the early 2000s unchanged. On a personal note, I love the chit-chat between the two singers. As a kid, I was always excited to hear them close out the show. They give off the impression of cool adults who didn't look down on you. And when they say how many can you name, it's not condescending, and you really do want to show them how good you are. The weekday segments served no purpose on home video, so they stuck to TV reruns for years. But in the early 2010s, they showed up on uploads from Pokemon TV's app and website. They're also on the 2017 Season 1 Blu-ray and Pokemon TV's YouTube channel. For international Poké-Raps, they're all based on the English dub with the same structure, but I want to give special mention to the Canadian-French one. You see, starting out, Quebec used a mix of English and French terms for their Pokemon adaptation.
Tangela, Vulpix, Cuffing.
Instead of using European French names for Pokemon, humans, etc., they used English ones for their dub of the show. The rap on TV or CD is the same as France's singing-wise, but for the actual rapping, you're hearing Babby Floyd. They do the same thing for the Johto rap and their singers, but more on that later. Early volumes of Quebec Pokemon tapes also have the rap on them, but get this, in their weekday forms, with 3 on each one, even though, again, they serve no practical purpose that way. Now, no matter the language, the song says there's at least 150 Pokemon, but of course, the one left behind was Mew, though that wasn't always the case. After writing the song, Siegler got a call from 4Kids head honcho Norman J. Grossfeld, who said, "Take this one out, please." And so Mew was axed, which is why the song shouts the word Pokemon in Thursday's rap.
Articuno Jinx, Nidorina Beedrill, Haunter, Squirtle, Chansey.
Siegler thought this was a copyright or censorship issue, but hardcore fans know the real reason. During the rap's creation, i.e. when Pokemon first dropped in the West, Mew was kept a secret for the time being, despite being the second Pokemon you see in the show's intro. Still, Mew's proper debut was in Nintendo Power via the mini-magazine Pokemon Power in its January '99 issue, roughly 3 months after the rap first hit airwaves. In 2000, the rap also appeared in Puzzle League on N64, a game based on the show, or more specifically, the show's English dub. It served as the credits theme, and here the Pokemon themselves do roll call. It's some cheesy fun for sure. There's only about 46 in here, and Mewtwo does not join in, though Meryl's a fun inclusion, being from Gen 2 and all. And in 2013, the rap was sampled in the Pogo remix Catchatronic, made for the Gotta Catch 'Em All campaign in the lead up to X and Y. If you were there when this dropped, you'll know it came out a week earlier than it should have. A trailer for the Genesect film was supposed to go live in its place, but as is tradition, someone messed up big time. Looking back on the Poké-Rap, Siegler said it's one of his least favorite songs he's done, calling it little more than a laundry list of names. And I know you are your own worst critic, but I still think it's a fun song with great energy, and it always puts me in a good mood. Siegler's more a fan of the Johto rap that followed, but not by much. And on that note, let's talk about that one a little more.
Don't dance away, the world premiere of the all-new Poké-Rap is in just a few moments.
Performed by the group Johto, Poké-Rap GS debuted on the Totally Pokemon album in January 2001, later showing up on the Movie 3 soundtrack in April. Then there was a music video Kids WB aired on May 12th after the premiere of the Pokemon episode Hot Matches. This was the one and only time it aired on American TV, and as for Canadians, forget about it. It's also said a minute of episode footage was cut to squeeze it in. Like Kanto's rap, this one leaves out a Pokemon that's elusive and event exclusive, that being Celebi. Again, a Pokemon shout hints to where it once was.
Wobbuffet Typhlosion, Granbull.
This one never clicked with me like the original, but I do think it's funny how the song just explodes when it ends. The rap then showed up on the Movie 3 DVD, but it's got totally different visuals from the WB edit. On TV, they get all kinds of wacky spelling out the word Pokemon and with different backgrounds too, but on DVD it's pretty uniform, plus some of the B-roll's been changed. Once the latter edit wraps up, this blurb says it would appear at the end of Season 4 episodes on TV, which never happened. Seasons 1 to 3 all had a music video outro, the Poké-Rap, Pikachu's Jukebox, and Karaokemon respectively. These seasons, plus the 4th, were also scored by John Leffler's studio Rave Music, after which Rave cut ties with the dub. The week's Poké-Rap article alludes to this, with D-Train recalling Leffler washing his hands of it before Pokemon lawyers got involved. 2001 is when the Pokemon Company formed and was getting more hands-on with the whole franchise, so maybe that's why things didn't pan out. Or maybe producers just thought the music gimmick ran its course, who's to say? Parts of the GS rap were used in 05 for the Pokemon Chronicles intro, and I say it works better in that context. But you know, it could always get worse, which leads us to the Hoenn rap. The first Poké-Rap with no official music video, and the first one done outside the 4Kids music circle. Done by Ethan Eubanks and Andrew Sherman, it first released on the Pokemon X album in March 2007, less than a month before the Gen 4 games came out in the West, so cutting it real close. Later, on April 3rd, it was on the CD Exclusive Target Mix, Songs from Pokemon X, bundled with the Manaphy film at Target stores. Fittingly, the rap was also used as the end theme for the short Pikachu's Island Adventure, also bundled with the film. First seeing it online way back when, I doubted if it was real, and in a way, it kind of wasn't. See, the most popular uploads on YouTube out there, they're actually the Target remix. The original has a slower tempo with a more generic rap beat, also used for the Pikachu short by the way, but they got a little wackier for the Target version, to the point I think it sounds more like an upbeat folk song.
Trico and Torchic in the back. We got Mudkip and March Top, you're in the track. Swamper Puchiana, I see you too. We got Wurble and Beautify and Cascoon.
It's got a different instrumental with added sound effects, and they speed up the dialogue to match the faster tempo. You know, maybe that's why I always felt uncomfortable listening to this. Hearing the original, it feels much more natural, for lack of a better word. And I'll also give it this, it's not just listing names. It tries pairing Pokemon by evolved forms and other similarities, which some later songs would do. Unfortunately, many names are horribly mispronounced, another reason I initially thought this was fan-made. Groudon and Kyogre are Groudon and Kyogre, Beldum's mispronounced as Bedlam, Combuskin is straight up Combustion. Even stranger, this rap throws in Celebi and Mew with Hoenn Mythical's Jirachi and Deoxys, sung all whisper-like cause of their secrecy, I guess. But it seems that came at the cost of Hoenn regulars, cause Zigzagoon and Relicanth are just plain absent. Contrary to the lyrics, the gang's not all here. This one feels very slapdash, and if I didn't know better, I think Pokemon was trying to bury it. The initial album release on iTunes and reissues on Spotify and YouTube Music don't have it, plus a few other tracks. You'll only find it on the long out-of-print CD. This also marks the last proper Poké-Rap to date. What a weird way to go. But there's still a few Poké-Rap adjacent tunes I gotta mention. On May 1st, 1999, Kids WB did the Warnerama Celebrity Showcase featuring NSYNC, with the boy band goofing off with the WB crew between shows, including but not limited to grilling Marvin the Martian and doing awful Porky Pig impressions.
That's all, folks.
One promo has them sing the Poké-Rap, or at least what a 20-second ad will allow.
NSYNC's Pokemon Rap. Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all. Articuno, Jinx, Nidorino, Beedrill, Hunter, Squirtle, Chance, Pokemon. Execute, move, Dewgong, Johto, Lapras, Vulpix, right on.
Then there's Kids WB's Take the Challenge promo for Pokemon's 7th season in 04. This one takes major cues from the Kanto rap, even using its instrumental, which for some viewers must have been quite a throwback. The editing's spot on in terms of the original feel, though we got some bad spelling and pronouncing errors and sound-alike for Max, but you know, the effort's still appreciated.
Barbosh, Mawa, Dusclops, Seedot, Leyron, Slowking, Numel, Flygon, Catturn, Zinda, Anoff, Voltorb! Take the challenge, take the challenge!
But enough rapping for a second, cause it's time to Poka with Weird Al Yankovic's Pokemon. Made for the Pokemon 2000 soundtrack, it's Weird Al through and through, for Ponyta and Pidgey too. 55 monsters from Gen 1 and some Gen 2 film-relevant ones are named, with Ditto being listed twice because Ditto. The line, "There's at least 127 more," references a Weird Al running gag, where the number 27 shows up in his songs, videos, even his own life. The line is also technically correct, as Gen 2 was out in Japan by then. Before the last verse, there were precisely 210 more, and 196 that aren't in the song at all. In 2017, Weird Al wanted to put this song on the bonus disc Medium Rarities, a bunch of rare and unreleased songs bundled with the Squeezebox album, but his request was shot down. Apparently, due to the crazy success of Pokemon Go, TPC weren't licensing anything Pokemon related at the time, so it may have just been bad timing. Then there's 2011's Can't Stop Catchin' 'Em All by the Presidents of the United States of America, a fitting band for Unova. It was first performed live at the Rockefeller Center on March 5th during Nintendo New York's Black and White launch party. This one covers 50 Unova Pokemon out of 156, and gives them a descriptor that may or may not rhyme very well.
Clink is a pair of metal gears. Yamask is a ghost to fear. Sandile loves the desert sun. Galvantula, electric bug. Purloin, sneaky and devious. Herdier, loyal friend to us.
I still like it more than the Hoenn Poké-Rap, and the music video's fun too. Check out the making of from the director Chase Jarvis. This was all done in one shot, and the shoot itself was done in one day. That is nuts, though I just look at that couch being jumped on and feel bad for it. To date, that's the last time a Poké-Rap type naming song was done in the West, though I did speak with someone close to Pokemon who hasn't taken a crack at it yet. That person being Ed Goldfarb, who's done music for so many corners of the franchise, including the anime's dub score since 2013. Here's what he had to say on the Poké-Rap prospect.
The performances of the rap itself, those guys are really great. And so you wouldn't want to mess with them, and so you'd have to take it in a totally different direction, you know, with two completely different voices. I'd love to hear it in a different language. I'd love to hear a K-pop version. I could imagine it with that kind of slick production. Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all.
But we are far from done here, as we gotta get into the raps from Japan. So buckle up, cause now we're going on a trip.
Hello kids! 君はもうたっぷりポケモン捕まえたポケモン151匹捕まえた君もまだまだの君もポケモンやるかなに挑戦だ How's your mouth rolling today? ピカチュウ海流ヤドランビジョンコダックコラッタズバットギャロップ
It all starts with Pokemon Irukana, often fan translated as Can you name all the Pokemon?
Can you name all the Pokemon?
Weird, isn't it? This is seen as the Poké-Rap's Japanese equivalent. Makes more sense knowing producers wanted a song like that for Americans, as Japan already had one, though this mainly promoted the trading card game. Parts of it debuted in the first TCG ads in late '96, several months prior to its CD release. Irukana was performed by the group Suzuki-san, made up of Sachiko Kobayashi, Raymond Johnson, and TCG legend Tomoaki Imakuni. If you don't know, the man's a game designer, modeler, illustrator, musician, and one of the lucky few to physically appear in the Pokemon games. You can find him in the trading card game on Game Boy Color, where in English he mentions singing the Poké-Rap, but in Japanese, it's Irukana. Back to the song itself, one way it differs from the Poké-Rap is how it changes music styles partway through. But what do you expect when you've got Hirokazu Hip Tanaka doing the music, whose resume includes Super Mario Land, Metroid, Kid Icarus, Snoopy Concert, and 20 years worth of Pokemon anime tunes? Side note, Tanaka said when he started composing for the show, it was almost as a side gig he didn't take seriously. But joke or not, he still pulls out all the stops. The song even samples the intro from the Beatles' I Am the Walrus, as Tanaka is a huge Beatles fan. One thing this shares with the Poké-Rap is the absence of Mew, though it's alluded to at the start when they mention naming 151 monsters, and at the end when they realized they forgot one. When the song dropped on CD in June '97, Pokemon's first CD release ever by the way, that was the end of it, but it later showed up on a Suzuki-san video in March '98, where viewers got thrown a bone. There's also an ad for TCG GBC with an Irukana remix that later appeared on the Best Song Collection CD as an exclusive bonus track. Pokemon Irukana Baby starts out like a ballad, swaps to rock and roll, then Raymond calls his girlfriend, whose voicemail reveals she's cheating on him, and he has a breakdown. But you know what? They're still gonna finish the song anyway. This is where the order of Pokemon differs from the originals, and Imakuni actually leaves one out, leaving the kids to guess which one it was. It was Rhyhorn if you're curious, but hey, Mew's here.
Hey, Imakuni, you're a great singer, but your face?
Moving to Gen 2, we've got Irukana Neo with Imakuni alongside Chuyan and Shiro Suzuki. It first dropped on CD in June 2000, got a music video that July, and in August was performed live by Imakuni at that year's Tropical Mega Battle, a TCG event held in Honolulu, Hawaii with players from all over the world. This happened after the award ceremony, and some of the kids even joined Imakuni on stage. Discounting the TCG GBC ad, this might be the only rap where some Pokemon have visuals and others just don't. And here's why. This song was produced in 1999, going by the music video's copyright year, lyrics about entering the 21st century, and the song sampling Auld Lang Syne, you know, the New Year's song. At the end of 99, 16 Johto Pokemon didn't have cards out yet, marking their debut with the set Awakening Legends, or Neo Revelation, in November 2000. And in what's a recurring theme with Mythicals, Celebi's not mentioned at all, though Mew is. Sadly, it didn't have a relevant card, so it still had no visuals. Unknown gets name dropped 26 times though, so it all balances out. Neo was the last new Irukana for a while, though the original got some more remixes. On New Year's Day 2001, it was covered on the album Ça et là du Japon from Japanese pop band Pizzicato 5. Titled Gotta Call 'Em All, Imakuni and Raymond reprised their roles once again. This whole album's theme is winter in Tokyo, and you totally feel that listening to this. It's a great cover. In 2004, it was sung by the cast of variety show Weekly Pokemon Broadcast Station, with a music video using anime footage for each Pokemon. When they mention Porygon, they use an image I've never seen anywhere else, if you know, you know. And though we all knew Mew by now, it once again goes unnamed, but still pops up in the video. Jumping ahead, for the XY Diancie movie, the song was covered by rock group Scandal for their 2014 single Daybreak Meteor Shower, with Mew finally getting a proper name drop. For Irukana's formal return, we're going back to Gen 5, where 2010 gave us Irukana BW, sung by Takeshi Tsuruno. It was used as the second end theme for the Best Wishes anime, but like the old days, it debuted in a TCG ad, with Tsuruno himself doing 30 seconds worth in one go. Composer Hip Tanaka and lyricist Akihito Toda were back in the saddle, and they are so good. You know, this might be my favorite rap of them all. Before the full version dropped on CD in July 2011, it debuted on the show Pokemon Smash earlier that May, where Tsuruno performed it live. Afterwards, some of the Smash crew tried singing it too, with mixed results, and one of them started singing the refrain for OG Irukana by mistake. According to the fan site PocketMonsters.net, an invaluable resource for all things Pokemon, it was also used in a karaoke contest, and kids submitted their renditions for Pokemon Smash when they used this as an ending. In August 2011, Tsuruno uploaded himself singing this at a faster tempo in one sitting, and in June 2025, he tested his skills once more. And while a bit rusty to start, he proved he still got it. For 2011's Noble Victories card set, a couple ads had other folks sing this, like former pro boxer and TV personality Yoko Gushikin, who's not quite on beat and trips over some names, but it's all in good fun. Another features actress Hayuri Katagiri, who does it flawlessly and with an air of menace.
바닐리치 12비를 프로토가 말하러 발로브신 데스마스코 정도 그런 게를 스원도 못나 바이바니라.
And not to be left out, Imakuni's here too, and I think he gives the best performance of them all. For the anime edit, that name's 91 out of 156 across 2 variants, but even the full song's missing a few, being, you guessed it, the event mythicals Keldeo, Genesect, and Meloetta, who, unlike fellow mythical Victini, weren't officially revealed yet. These 3 had to wait another 14 years for a mention when the song was covered to promote the Black Bolt and White Flare set. Sung by Masayoshi Oishi and arranged by Iba, it dropped on YouTube June 1st, 2025 with a special edition on the 19th. Oh hey, what a great date! But they've since been privatized, likely cause the promotion's over. Though the mythicals don't get named, their cards are shown in a way that says, hey, sorry we missed y'all the first time. Oishi was also interviewed presumably about how this came to be, but I don't know Japanese, so someone else will have to translate this. For game appearances, the first TV variant was used for the mobile game Pokemon Irutap, which is summed up by what you see here. But it was Pokemon's first app ever for modern smartphones, and the second ever for mobile phones, period. Not that the West ever got them. And a TV-sized cover also appears in Taiko no Tatsujin Wii Keteban. In 2019, Irukana popped up in some interesting places, like promos for the Pokemon shirts line with the song Kirukana, i.e. can you wear all the Pokemon? This has 2 versions, with the first featuring Imakuni once more, though sadly it only covers the first stanza. Still, his vocals are new, he kills it in every fit, and though he's not spitting fire quite as much, at least it's in CG now. These were even uploaded to the Taiwanese and Singapore Pokemon channels, with the former the only one still currently public. The second version features Akihisa Shiono with singing done by Kenta Harada, and here they use an instrumental for Irukana Baby as the bass. Later that November, the anime got a new ending in Pokemon Shiritori, performed by the Pokemon Music Club and produced by Pokemon game composer, director, all-arounder Junichi Masuda. Explaining to the best of my abilities, Shiritori is a game where players say a word starting with the final syllable of the previous word. And if something ends with the n syllable, which almost no Japanese words start with, the game ends. Apply to Pokemon names and you've got this ending. Though the concept was first heard in a Pokemon radio show in 2012, little known fact. Anywho, for this song, 2 chains end in failure, another 2 in success, and they cover 89 monsters from the first 8 gens. It's also got an Irukana reference for good measure. During the chorus, the first variant shows silhouettes from Irukana's first stanza in their proper order, and for the second variant, the chorus shows Irukana's final batch of monsters. Crazy stuff. And in 2026, Pokemon's 30th anniversary, we've got the biggest undertaking yet. Pokemon All-Stars 1025. Once again helmed by Oishi and Iba, this one's naming every Pokemon from Gens 1 to 9. The first portion dropped April 22nd, naming 213, and the first 8 are the same ones from Irukana, in the same order and all. I love that! Like some other Poké-Raps before it, this one also pairs similar sounding names and evolutions together for good flow and rhymes, with some fun curveballs here and there. I can't even fathom what an English cover would sound like, but I welcome anyone to take the challenge.
Take the challenge!
At the time of writing this, the full version's yet to be released, but when it has, no doubt it sounds fantastic, right? Don't need to be a psychic type to see that coming. And that's every major Pokemon rap or rap-adjacent naming song I thought was worth talking about. So long as there's Pokemon out there, we're gonna find a way to name them through song, and I feel confident we'll see more in the future. I hope after watching this you realize just how much goes into making some of these, ranging from fun little ditties to cultural cornerstones for the franchise. For some folks, Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, Mankey, or Pikachu, Kairu, Yadoran, Pigeon is a call to action that gets them singing or just makes them a kid again. For Kanto's rap, I remember the rush it gave Kid Me every day, the fun I had learning it front to back, how awesome it was singing it at Anime North and having the audience join in. Singing about Pokemon makes for a good time. So if you learned about a new song watching this or rediscovered an old favorite, I say try learning some of these, just for the heck of it. Every Pokemon fan wants to prove they're the best deep down, and what better way to show off your skills? Because as two wise guys once said way back when, you gotta catch 'em all.
You gotta catch 'em all!
Ooh, gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Ooh, gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, feel free to give this vid a like, subscribe, check out my Patreon to see videos like this before they go live, all the stuff I always ramble on about. Speaking of the Patreon, I'd like to shout out Lars Niswant and Munchie598 for their support, cause it really does mean more than you know. And tell me, what's your favorite Poké-Rap / Pokemon naming song? Did I miss anything in particular? Whatever the case, share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read them. And with all that said, I'll see you all next time with another installment in this month of Pokemon. Catch you later!